Welcome to Money Through Ease, the podcast that helps small business owners overcome limiting beliefs and take control of their financial agency. I'm your host, Reagan Beshara, founder of All Ease Accounting. Join us as we explore ways to empower yourself and achieve financial success with ease. Ready for an accounting date with an expert bookkeeper? Sign up for a fourth quarter fling. I'll send you a customized workbook, expert insights about your business, and you get a one-on-one virtual call with me. Plus, an early bird bonus awaits if you sign up by October 1st. It's cuffing season, so let me take your business on an accounting date. Find all the details in the show notes and secure your spot now. Welcome to Money Through Ease. I'm your host, Reagan Beshara. I am tired, y'all. Welcome to fall. It is the time of year where even though school is back in session and your normal life routine, especially if you have kids, is probably starting back up, it's time to start slowing down. And the ironic thing is, when the holidays start to come up, things definitely aren't slowing down. So it's interesting to me that this time of year, it just feels slower, and at the same time, it doesn't. It feels a lot busier. It feels like there are a lot more obligations and responsibilities that we all have to, like family and all that good stuff. But the end of the year is approaching, which means that tax season is just around the corner. And my job as a bookkeeper is to make sure that all of my clients are prepared to prepare their taxes. And if you are not already one of my bookkeeping clients, you have an opportunity to have me take your business on an accounting date, and that's through the fourth quarter fling. That is a chance for me to take a look at what you've got going on as far as your financial record keeping for your business, and to help you create a plan, get a checklist together, ask yourself some questions regarding your bookkeeping to get you better prepared to file your taxes on time and accurately. If you have not already, go book a fourth quarter fling. They are already being booked, which means that there is a limited quantity of those appointments remaining for the rest of the year, and they are going down. So you definitely want to get on a fourth quarter fling if you're somebody who does not already have a bookkeeper, if you've never worked with a bookkeeper before, if you would like to work with an accountant, but you don't necessarily want to commit to having a relationship between your business and a bookkeeper or an accountant. I'm trying to help y'all out here, so get on a fourth quarter fling so we can get you organized before tax season. Today, I want to talk about the topic of taking time off as a business owner. You probably already know that when you're a solopreneur, or even if you have employees, even if you have a partner in the business, you probably know that taking time off is a huge deal as a business owner. I used to be in a position where taking time off as an employee was a huge deal. I ended up getting blamed for work that did not get done when I was out for a pre-approved PTO or for an illness. And it sucks probably just as much, if not more, to be a business owner and to be ill or to need to take time off to rest or recover from something, and knowing that work is not getting done when you're not there. And in the case for me, I don't have contractors, I don't have employees in my business at this time. And so the work is left up to me to get done. And when I'm taking rest, I'm taking time off. I was sick last week and I took a lot of time off in order to get better as soon as I possibly could, to give my body the time and space to get well. The work wasn't getting done, and I had a lot of kind of mental drama around that. Just my prior experience with taking time off as an employee for different businesses, but then now it's the new experience for me of being a business owner, being ill, needing to take time to rest and recover, and having to deal with kind of the emotional abuse that I put myself through and making myself feel shame and guilt about taking time off. I have some client projects that I'm working on right now. Business is growing. I have a lot of people, wanting to talk to me, wanting to start services with me, and to kind of shut it all down for a week where I was only doing what was absolutely necessary for my client work and my business, and to not, be in contact with new people and be working to grow my business, to take a break from that. It's really hard to do. But I had to do it, If I were going to push through an illness, that would probably just set me back even further. That would probably mean needing to take more time off soon in the future. It could just be, there could be bad consequences and repercussions to not taking the time to rest. So while I was consciously deciding I'm not going to work and I'm not going to push through this and I'm going to rest and take the time that my body is asking for, I still had a lot of drama. Even though I'm the one making that choice for myself, I liked my reasons for making that decision. I saw it as a way for me to really take care of my body and to honor that, I'm human and I'm in a mortal body, and, taking that time intentionally, even though I was making that choice consciously, it didn't mean that there wasn't still going to be mental drama about it. It didn't mean that my brain was going to be yelling at me internally about how I needed to get work done and I've got clients depending on me to do work and blah, blah, blah. That all may or may not be true, I may have people that are wanting to demand time and work from me at a specific time, and it doesn't really matter. If I'm sick, then I'm sick. Or even if I'm not sick and I just want to take time off, it doesn't make a difference what other people are thinking or not thinking about the work that I'm doing for them. But a lot of the times, the mental drama is our own creation. It's the product of our own decision making. Our brains want to make sure that we're making the right choice. I especially have a lot of drama about being in trouble, quote unquote, with authority figures or people that I'm accountable to. I'm accountable to my clients to do the work that I said I was going to do. And accountability is one of my values personally and professionally. But being accountable also means that I communicate up front what the expectations are going to be for the services that I provide. And if a client asks for an update, or they're saying, hey, I need this done by this time, and I'm choosing not to respond to those requests, or I'm telling them, actually, here's what the deadline was that we both talked about and agreed upon, I'm accountable to myself to maintain the expectations that I set out first. I'm responsible for creating expectations, communicating them with other people, and then upholding them, If somebody's reaching out to me and is like, hey, where are we at on this? And I'm taking the week off to be sick, it's okay and actually responsible of me to say, yeah, I'm going to have this project done on this timeline like we talked about. Thanks for reaching out. I don't have to jump up and do what needs to be done because nothing needs to be done. And if I'm coming up on a deadline of work that needs to be done, like an external deadline, like something set by the IRS, like a tax deadline, or I have a deadline that I set for myself, or a client has asked me to complete a project by a certain date, I have a responsibility to communicate if something comes up and I'm not able to meet that deadline. I need an extension. And that's okay too. There's no trouble to be in when we are clearly communicating our boundaries and our expectations and what's going on with us. And it's not that we have to be completely transparent and give them our whole life story or oh my gosh, yeah, I'm really sick. These are my symptoms. I don't have to answer to anybody to that extent. I just have to answer to the expectations that I set and agreed to begin with. And if I'm not able to meet those expectations for whatever reason, I've got a deadline coming up and I'm not going to complete the work by that deadline, I do have a responsibility to stay in communication with my clients about that. But that doesn't mean that taking time off is an irresponsible thing to do as a business owner. Even if you have work that is on a deadline, even if you have clients that expect something from you, taking time off I see as the most responsible thing that I can do to care for myself as a person first. Before I'm a business owner, I'm a human being. Before I'm an accountant or a bookkeeper, I'm a human. I have human needs. I live in a human body. Things come up. And I really want to challenge my own expectations of myself and my own shame and guilt that I try to project on other people when I take time off. Because it's really my work to do to challenge that line of thinking, that I should work through it and there's at least something that I can do every day, no matter how bad I'm feeling. That's not necessarily true. And it's not the case that if I do decide to take off work and I do decide to delay some projects, that means that something's really wrong. Like, it doesn't matter how sick you are if you just decide, I'm not feeling well enough to work today. And there's no universal agreement on a level of pain or discomfort or illness that you have to be at to take time off. I want to encourage myself and all of us, anybody who's listening, as a business owner, when you feel your body telling you something, sending you signals that you need to rest, that you need to take time, that you need to take better care of yourself. It could be feeling like you're coming down with something. It could be having symptoms. It could be being in chronic pain. You may have a chronic illness that from time to time really forces you to take a break. I want to encourage all of us to push back on our own mental drama about, there is a siren going by. I want to encourage all of us to push back against our own brain drama about taking time off. And I want to encourage you as a business owner to think about these things before you need to, before you have to. We don't want to be put in the position to where we're feeling ill someday and we have to make the choice to work through it or take some rest and take time off and then be stuck in that decision that is a hard decision to make sometimes while we're also not physically feeling well. I want to be as proactive as possible, and if I feel that some time is coming up where I'm burnt out or I'm sick and I need to take time off, I want to have thought about it ahead of time so that I have a practice to put in place. I have things that I do. I have a routine to take care of myself, and I've also practiced, not shaming or guilting myself into just doing work anyways. I want to develop that practice up front and be proactive about it, so that when that time does come, because it will, I'm ready to respond and do the best thing for me before I do the best thing for my business, before I do what's best for my clients. I want to consider what's best for me first. So that's a little lesson that I wanted to kind of share, because obviously last week I took off and I wanted to kind of walk you through what my thought process was like. And being a new business owner, like all of these experiences that I'm going through, most of them are a first-time deal for me. But I know from the experience of working with business owners for so many years, kind of what is coming down the road. And I can be a little bit more proactive and get ready for when these challenges come up that we all go through. And I wanted to share that with you. If you feel the need to take time off, think ahead of time what you would need to do, what a care plan or a routine for yourself might look like, and what kind of support would you need to take time off and really rest and not have to think about or do any work. I hope everybody is having a great week. I hope everybody feels well and is taking good care of themselves and isn't experiencing any illness. I sincerely hope that that's not the case and that you're not experiencing that discomfort. But usually with the fall time and everybody going back to school and being in contact with each other again in, large quantities, things get passed around. So Take care of yourselves. Be proactive. Have a plan for your brain in place before the decision comes up on whether or not you need to not work for a little bit of time. Thanks for listening today. And this episode was short and sweet because I'm still coming out of it. I hope you have a great week and weekend, and I'll talk to you next week. Thanks for tuning in to Money Through Ease. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe to my email list to stay up to date on all the latest content. You can also follow me on social media at All Ease Accounting or facebook.com/accounting with ease for even more insights and updates. And if you're interested in learning more about my bookkeeping services, don't hesitate to schedule a complimentary consult today. Thanks again for listening, and I'll see you next time.